If you're top agent, but your business still depends on you every single day, this is going to sting a little bit because you're not stuck because of the market. You're stuck because you're thinking like an employee.
Have you transformed from an employee mindset to an owner mindset?
So let's talk about how employee thinking kind of shows up in day-to-day life, right? And let me show you what it actually looks like in real estate too, because employee thinking like in real estate, employees say things like, I should just handle it. It's faster if I do it, right? We've all heard those people like, I can do it so much faster than delegating it to somebody else, right? I had this exact conversation with somebody the other day. Hey, if you're top agent, but your business still depends on you every single day, this is going to sting a little bit because you're not stuck because of the market. You're stuck because you're thinking like an employee. And here's the uncomfortable truth that most agents don't tell you. They plateau. And the plateau is a reason. It's not because of skill. It's not because of lack of work ethic. It's not because of lack of ease or leads or whatever those words are. It's how they make decisions, Wayne. Like that's what I'm going at today is because I just want high performers to know like they're trapped because they've set themselves up to be trapped. And it's getting exhausting. I'm seeing it a lot out there.
Yeah, well, and I think this is the question. Like, have you transformed from an employee mindset to an owner mindset? And people say that sounds nice. What does that actually mean? And I think an employee typically goes like, what do I need to do to get paid right now, today? You know, in a sense, and the owner is thinking completely differently. The owner's thinking, what needs to exist so that this can keep working without me? So here's the problem. Like most agents say they want ownership, yet they're still making decisions like a factory worker and chasing the next commission.
Yeah. So let's talk about how employee thinking kind of shows up in day-to-day life, right? And let me show you what it actually looks like in real estate too, because employee thinking like in real estate, employees say things like, I should just handle it. It's faster if I do it, right? We've all heard those people like, I can do it so much faster than delegating it to somebody else, right? I had this exact conversation with somebody the other day. Another way employees kind of use this thinking in real estate is, no one cares as much as I do. Oh, nobody touches my clients like I touch them. Nobody says emails like I say it, like all that, right? One of my other favorite ones is like, I'll just build systems later, right? Like right now, I just need to close the deal. I need to move on. I got to get the systems set, but I know that's later on, right? I just think it's funny because with those three statements, I'll handle it. No one cares as much. I'll build the systems later. They have literally put three walls around them. They're just about boxed in. And I don't care how much money you make. I don't care how busy you think you are or how important you think you are. Every time that you have this like employee mentality, and there's nothing wrong with employees, but you're not the employee. Like you're the boss. And
Well,
I don't know. It's weird.
and the problem is we get rewarded for bad behavior, right? Like we do get the commission check. We get to, and this is one I see a lot, like we get to be the hero, right? Like I don't have a process for how to fix this. So I just jumped in and fixed it myself. Now I get to be the hero. I get to look like the rock star. Plus I didn't have to build out an SOP for how to do this. So the problem is most people get stuck in there and it is like, it serves your human need of like significance. So be like, man, I feel significant. I feel needed. But like you said, they're not building something. So it's like, hey, when do we issue a refund? Nobody knows. So we just let the boss make the decision. And every time it's a little bit different than it was last time. So we don't know what the heck's going on. So it just stays on your plate forever.
Hey, really quick, you know how YouTube works. Like and subscribe so we know this is working and it keeps pushing the content out.
Yeah, this is what we do as a passion project. Wayne got his own coaching, I got my real estate, but we've come together because we want y'all to learn from all our scars and mistakes. So that like and subscribe means the world to us because it means you care and it means we can keep giving, and also it makes us look cool with my mom.
Absolutely.
Dude, my favorite, and you'll appreciate this one. How many female agents have we worked with? It is their badge of honor. I was writing the offer in the delivery room or the recovery room. Like I've never had birth, right? I've never given birth. So I'm not trying to knock on that, but y'all, that is not cool. Like that's being trapped. I think it also leads into like, I have found, and I think we can agree on this, that we found like three decisions I think we should share with the people on the interwebs, right? Decision number one is you decide based on speed, not scale. And, employees optimize for speed. How fast can I get it done? Blah, 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 right? But owners or team leaders, like you've got to look at it repeatability. I had a conversation yesterday. We're getting ready to onboard a new employee and they're going to be under another one of my employees. And his question was, if I bring them on, I'm scared. I said, well, I asked him, like, what are you scared about? Like, what are you worried about? And he's like, I'm afraid I'm going to have to train them for 3 months and I'm just going to have to do it again when they quit. And I was like, cool, here's what I recommend. If you do something more than twice, it better be on video, right? So like build for scale, not for speed. And I don't know. It's one of those things. So the other one I see is the second one that kind of comes up is, you're trying to work from a scarcity mindset instead of abundance, or better yet, like you're trying to protect your income instead of like building equity. And so employees, like they're the employee mindset, like they're chasing the commission check. Like, how am I going to get next paid? How am I going to keep the lights on? It's all about today, today, today.
Yes.
And owners are like, hey, it may suck in the short term and maybe a couple more hours to get this right. But like, you've got to build the systems, the teams, and the margins. So that way, like they're producing when you're not there. That's what I find.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I think that most of them, and we saw this during COVID a lot, right? People, they built their culture because they were present.
Yeah.
Not because they actually had a structure for building or keeping culture. So a
Yeah.
lot of people they lead through presence instead of leading through structure. And I think that the real leaders, they build out, here's how we keep the culture. We do this many happy hours. We do this. We send birthday cards here.
Yeah.
Like, they build the place to it, because if they get hit by a bus or they get sick, whatever it is, people can continue to build that, in a powerful way. So I think that's the key. And it's like you said, just build one thing a day, right? And for somebody that's watching this, maybe it's, I build here's how I show houses, or press record and I'm going to teach you how I show a house. One of my clients just built out her show a house SOP, and
Yeah.
she's like, it's 25 steps. Is that too many? I was like, no, that's perfect, because that becomes an asset in your business.
Yep.
And then now she's got somebody who's going to teach somebody else. They can take the asset with them and go, hey, here's the 25 things. And that's how you build a business, right? It's asset on asset, right? It's one asset at a time. And I think that's the key. And maybe you need to build a system to get referrals. We were talking about that yesterday. It's like, most people think I do a good job, I'm going to get referrals. It's like, no, you need a process that, hey, we do these 6 things and referrals come out the other side. So you're 100% right. It's like, look for where can I just build 1 or 2 at a time.
Well, it's funny, and I don't think it's always the real estate agent's fault. I was at a conference yesterday. It was a local one. They brought in a pretty well-known speaking coach, and she was on stage for 2 hours. And the thing that she laid out for agents to do, I couldn't execute with 5 full-time staff members. Like, legitimately, it was like, build the funnel and then do this and then build the other funnel, then retarget and then build this and then have this guide and then have this. You got to write seriously. She's like, you got to write a book that goes with it. And I'm like, bro, these people can't even fucking put remarks in their MLS inputs, right? So like, you just and so they get overwhelmed. And so you know what they do is they go, I just want to close a deal today. I'll worry about that later, because they should. They don't ever get to it. So I think it's also part of how coaches and mentors or gurus or whatever lay this shit out. And I think that's why you do such a good job, because when I coach with you and when you coach people, you give them small bite-sized pieces that they can tear off in a row, and then it'll build over time, instead of like, dude, that lady just pigeon dumped all over that place. And like, people are just eyes are rolling back there.
Yeah. Yeah. And it could be just simple as like, what systems do we need? If I was somebody today, it could be, what systems do we need to process? You can literally just get a whiteboard and just brain dump all of them out of your mind. And then, like you said, take a step back and go, all right, what are the first 2?
Yep.
And just or put them in order and then tackle it one at a time. It's not about doing it all overnight. And I think that's the difference between, I think one more thing I would say on this is, business owners treat this like a marathon,
Yeah.
and employees and quote unquote high achievers, they treat it like a sprint. So they're like, all right, I'm going to build all the systems today. And it's like, no, you're not. Like, this is a marathon. Like, stop trying to do it all at once and then getting pissed off you didn't get all done at once. So just marathon pace. I'm going to do 1 a week, right? Whatever it is. Record one thing I do a week and just start from there.
Yeah. All right. So the last one, the third decision, I think a lot of people need to make, whether they're going to be the employee mindset or the boss mindset, if you will, is a lot of people lead like based on energy. Like their team has to have constant energy. And if they don't feel like they have leadership, right? So like, if you're just coming in and you're the rah-rah man, like I had a company the other day wanted to rent one of my spaces in my commercial building. And they're like, hey, we're kind of loud. Every morning at 8:00, we have a hype meeting. It's loud music and we're banging pots and we're doing this stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's not going to work with all the therapists in there, but that's what they have to do. So these guys go door to door and sell solar panels or whatever the hell they're doing. And it's funny because if you have to give your people constant energy, you're not leading them, you're giving them a dependency on you, right? And
Yeah.
at the same time, like real owners don't like do it all themselves. They replace themselves on purpose before they need to.
Yes.
That way you can be indispensable. I don't know. I'm probably not being clear on this mindset on the third decision, but I think it's really important that, I guess a better way I could put it is like, you don't have to be, if you're the cog in your entire business, if you can't take a month-long vacation and everything run without you, you're thinking like an employee. You're one of your own employees.
Yeah. If you're not building assets of like, hey, here's how we do our team meeting. Here's how we do this. Here's how we show a house. Here's how, you present this like that's the key. And it's little by little. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Close this out.
All right. So here's the question. Every day you get to, we all do, right? We get to cast a vote. We get to cast a vote for, am I voting to have the same thing happen tomorrow, next week, next year? Or am I casting some votes for new and better and system and improvement and everything else? So I think every day you got to ask yourself, like, did I cast a vote for building a business, or did all my votes go to doing the exact same thing a year from now? And that's where, cast some votes, start with systems one at a time, build out some processes, press record, and start building in assets.
Yeah. So hopefully you liked this video. And if y'all did, on the next episode, we're going to be talking about like why most team leaders are the bottleneck, like why you're the problem. And we're going to break down how leaders accidentally become their biggest constraint in their business and how to overcome that. So make sure to stay tuned. Watch that video. It's going to be a nice, short, sweet, but to the point. And as always, if you need something from us, DM us, look in the show notes. We've got some links in there for our upcoming masterminds, and fill that out. See if you're going to be a good fit for the mastermind. And let's take this conversation a little bit deeper.
Hey, real quick, if you're liking this content, imagine having a full day immersed with people that are on this, like us, that are learning from each other.
Man, we do these kind of events, these intensive, a couple times a year, and if you know that you are the smartest person in the room and you need to get in some other rooms, this is the place to be, right? So apply, send us a message right now, we'll send you the application link, and see if you are the right fit to be in one of the rooms.